The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning. Andy Brownell, along with Robin Gwaltney Group-RE Results, We're talking about Rochester real estate, of course. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Andy.
So, I saw this week earlier, there was a report that I believe it was the average interest rate hit a new record low on a 30-year mortgage of 2.98%.
Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh. I am so psyched about this. So I actually pulled up something about mortgage rates because I don't think people really understand what a big part that plays in what your monthly mortgage payment is. You know, sometimes people sit and they're still sitting at 4 point something right now, and I'm like, get your butt in there and refinance. You're going to save yourself a couple $100 a month of real money. And over the course of the loan, it's a lot of money. So people, if you're listening and you haven't refinanced and you can drop by at least 1%, it is time to do that.
Well, think about it. If you're saying a couple $100 a month on a refi, that's $2,400 in just 1 year.
In 1 year. And they probably have maybe 22 or 25 years left on that loan. Think about that. That adds up really fast.
Really? And it's significant money is what that is.
Yes. So let me just look at this little historic information that I dug up. Okay?
All right.
So looking decade by decade, in the 1970s, the average interest rate was 8.86. Okay? Then along came the 80s. And the average interest rate was 12.7 for a mortgage.
The good old days, right?
Yeah, 12.7. Luckily, we were just getting out of high school and weren't ready to buy a house. Not until the end of the 80s. But anyway, in the 90s, 8.12 was the average. In the 2000s, we all thought we hit the jackpot when the average was 6.29.
Yes.
And today, the average is 3%. Okay? So now, let's back it up and talk about a $300,000 mortgage.
Okay.
All right. So back in the 1970s, with an interest rate of 8.8%, you were paying just about $2,400 a month on a $300,000 mortgage. Today, you're paying $1,270.
Oh, my goodness.
We are talking about half the house payment on the same price loan just because of the interest rate. Okay, so last year, when the interest rate was averaging around 4%, you still would have paid an extra almost an extra $200 a month with 1%.
Just that 1% made that big a difference.
Correct. And so, $200 doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you think about $200 per month, times however many years you have left on that mortgage. So I'll sum it up by saying, if you're in the market to buy a house, there's never, ever been a better time as far as your interest rate goes. If you're not planning to buy a new house and you're content where you are, if you have any kind of interest rate that starts with the number 4, it's time to call and refinance. Okay? So that's what I have to say about interest rates this morning.
Even more than that, I'm thinking back to 20, 30 years ago and what the home cost and what the home cost today. And when this is a continual theme I keep hearing because, oh boy, if we could just buy a house like you guys bought a house, we could all be, in our homes and have. But
you only paid $89,000. Yeah, well, I paid 15% interest. That's where you're going with this, right?
Exactly. So I'm saying that your payment on that $300,000 house is comparable to what I was paying.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. So I can tell you I'm looking at the numbers, this week's numbers from Results Mortgage, and a conforming fixed 30-year loan is 2.75. A conforming fixed 15-year loan is 2.25. So I don't know what you people are waiting for. It is time.
It's pretty close to free money.
Well, and what's going to be sad is it's going to last a while. So what happens, everybody keeps hearing the Fed say we have no plans to raise the interest rate anytime soon. So people get complacent and they think it's going to last forever. But I'm going to tell you what, it is not going to last forever. And the end is going to come sooner than people are ready for it to come, and then all of a sudden they're going to call and say, okay, I finally have my ducks in a row and I'm ready to buy a house, and I'm going to say, good for you, and the rates are back up to 4.5. Darn it. You missed the boat.
And it will. You watch. It will.
Of course it will.
When it ticks up, it'll tick up relatively quickly, because what will happen is this pent-up demand we have will finally fuel or economic resurgence, which will also cause inflationary pressures, which will result in the Fed taking action.
Yeah. So I think that, we're definitely feeling, and we've talked about COVID for the last several weeks, and we're definitely feeling the effects of things turning back toward normal, people being called back to work, people getting their full salaries back, hiring is happening once again at the Mayo Clinic, those kind of things. But that's our local market. And I have something here. I'll just read you this one little paragraph. Summer home buying season is off to a roaring start. As buyers are flooding into the market, according to Realtor.com, monthly traffic hit an all-time high of 86 million unique users in June of 2020. Okay, so people are online looking for houses, and when they start there, the next step is calling us. And when someone gets to that point, of course, we're ready to take those calls and help those buyers.
And you're talking about here secondary homes too, aren't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because people, I suppose, are taking their equity that they already have and looking at this interest rate and going, boy, I'm limited in how much socializing I can do. If I can find a summer vacation home, let's go.
And it's such a good way to build wealth. I mean, real estate is such a sound investment, and your real estate is only going to continue to become more valuable. So you're going to gain that equity. It's like having money in a savings account that you get to actually use and enjoy.
Especially if you can find one right along a body of water, right?
Yeah, like down by Reed's Landing or Wabasha, down in that area. Happy to help with that, too.
Yeah, that'd be, I've seen some of the pictures you've been putting on Facebook of the sunsets on the river.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Oh, my goodness.
It is so gorgeous. I'm so lucky because when we built our house, we were sitting in a spot where we could turn the house to an angle, where out our living room we have an eastern view, and out our bedroom in the backside of our deck we have a western view. So we can literally enjoy the sunrise over the river and the sunset over the lake. It's awesome.
Yeah, and people who don't make the little 40-minute jaunt over to the river just have no idea how beautiful it is down there in the summer.
Sometimes when people move to Rochester from out of state, I ask them, have you looked around? Have you, toured around the area? And they say, oh, yeah, we've seen all of Rochester. And I say, have you taken a drive down by Lake City? And they say, no, where's that? And I tell them, just, follow 63 for 30 minutes and you'll run right into it. And so they do. And then I always hear back, oh, my goodness. All of a sudden, the topography is all hills, and there's the beautiful bluffs by the river and the gorgeous, the Lake Pepin being the widest point on the entire Mississippi. I mean, we take it for granted because we live right here. Sort of like you and I are always discussing about Mayo Clinic. We take it for granted because it's in our backyard, but we are all so blessed, and we need to really savor those things.
You bet, especially these days. We have to have gratitude for things that have gone well.
Exactly.
Particularly interest rates.
Yes. And now, if we are still, I'm not going to lie, I can't be just Susie Sunshine. We're still low in inventory, so we still need more houses to sell. I recently listed one. I think last week I might have talked about it. It was a $200,000 listing, and because it's not closed yet, I can't tell you what the final sale price was, but I can tell you it was more than 10% above the asking price.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a hot commodity. If you've got something to sell and you're curious what you're going to have to do to get it ready or what you'll be able to sell it for, please call me. I'm happy to come over, take a look, do a free evaluation, and let you know exactly what you could expect in today's market.
And I know the folks who, especially this interest rate discussion, the folks who have trepidation about, okay, if I move out of the house I have, what am I going to move into? Obviously, what we've been telling you the last couple minutes is you could probably look up to a much larger and nicer home than you thought because of these low interest rates.
Exactly. Yes. And then taking the equity out of the house that you've sold and putting that as a down payment, you're lowering the amount that you're borrowing. And then with the lower interest rates, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, we moved up to our dream house for an extra $500 a month or, something like that.
All right. We have to take a break already. We're going to return. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results in just a few seconds on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. Andy Brownell along with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on this Saturday morning. And Robin, I understand you have a brand new team member I have not met yet.
Oh, we have a few that you haven't met yet, and that's the problem with us not being able to come into the studio.
Yes, it is.
But because I'm actually doing this from the office today instead of from home, I am able to have Triada Hansen here with me, and she's one of our new agents, and I'm so excited to introduce her to you. And I'll tell you what, I actually got so excited because Triada was rearing to go. She got her license. She was ready to start, jump in with both feet. And then it was, okay, everybody, we're closing down everything. Everybody stay at home. So she's had to patiently wait, but now she's out there and things are firing up and she's working and she's loving it. And I guess I'll let her tell you the rest.
All right. Good morning, Triada.
Good morning, Andy. How are you?
I'm well. Very nice to chat with you.
Yeah, you as well.
Maybe to start out with, maybe a little background on where you came from and how you came to join the Gwaltney Group.
Yeah, so born and raised in Minneapolis, in the restaurant business in and out throughout my whole life. Moved down to Rochester about 6-7 years ago and continued the restaurant industry for a while. Married 2 little boys and then decided to pursue my dream career, which is real estate. And I signed up and I finished classes in 4 weeks. Like Robin said, I got my license and then the shutdown happened. So
oh, no.
I laid low for a little bit, did some online training, and here I am, full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead. So how old are the boys?
Boys are 4.5 and 3.5.
Oh, okay. You were busy.
So busy, but it's so much fun.
Oh, yeah, that's a great age. That's a lot of fun. Cherish it, that's for sure.
Oh, I try to. I definitely try to.
Okay, so you started out in the restaurant business. That's quite a transition from the food service industry to real estate. What made real estate your dream job and so attractive?
Well, I wanted to stay in the customer service industry. I didn't want to leave that part. I'm not the one to sit behind a desk and be in an office all day. I want to still be out there with people, helping them find their dream home. I still want to work and have contact with people face to face. Just want to get out of the actual restaurant industry.
Oh, okay. I would have thought the restaurant, there was a lot of face to face, but obviously not as much as I thought. Is there anything particular about real estate that really drew you to it beyond just being able to get out there and help people?
I'm just a caretaker. I wanted to be able to get out there and help people find their dream home and continue in this path that I've been dreaming about for a while.
The dream home part is always attractive, I bet.
Absolutely. And just seeing their smile on their face.
Yeah,
that's most important.
That's kind of been the common theme when I've talked to others in Robin's group, the team, that especially when you deal with a first-time home buyer, when you
Yes,
can guide
for sure.
them through that process and they get to that final closing and they have the keys to the house.
Absolutely. It's the biggest purchase they'll make in their life.
Yep. And
So that has to be an important one.
I remember in
Exciting one.
my own days that when we finally took our ownership of our home, we thought, this is impossible. How could this actually be happening to us? But we did it.
Yep. I've owned 2 homes. I've sold and purchased 2 homes, and I remember how excited I was, and we'll love to see that on the people as well.
So you came down from Minneapolis a few years back.
Yes.
What do you think of our fine community?
Oh, I love it down here. I don't think I'll ever leave Rochester, at least to go back to Minneapolis. Now, if you ask me to move to Hawaii, I might say yes, but Rochester for now will definitely do. I love it down here. I love raising my kids down here. I've met some wonderful people. I'm on a wonderful group here at the Gwaltney Group with RE/MAX. Honestly, my life is good. I'm very, very blessed.
Okay, is there any specialization that you really, really want to pursue within real estate? I mean, I know the first-time home buyer is everybody's favorite, but is there, any niche kind of that you might like to spend most of your time working with?
I think once I get in the swing of things in general, I kind of want to look into a little new construction, developments, new construction, building. I want to learn everything from the ground up. So when I think I'm ready and my team thinks I'm ready and Robin thinks I'm ready, I'm full speed ahead on that as well. So, yeah, new construction is what I kind of want to concentrate on in the future.
Well, fantastic. The best of luck. If somebody's listening to this and they want to perhaps give you a ring, is there a number that they could reach you at especially, Triana?
Like a phone number?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Area code 612-501-5613. And again, my name is Triana Hansen.
All right. Well, it's fantastic to meet you, Triana, and good luck with everything. And I'm sure down the road we'll probably chat again.
To you as well. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too. And we'll return. We'll get back and chat a little bit more with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Good morning. Andy Brownell, Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, back before the microphone. I know, Robin, we have spent quite a bit of time on this program dealing with education, trying to offer information to people who perhaps never have purchased or perhaps have never sold their home or build a home.
Right.
And building the home is kind of a special one. It's a little bit more complex than buying an existing home or selling an existing home. You might want to get some advice before you dive in there.
So I've learned, I've gotten a lot of really good feedback from this radio show. I get a lot of calls from listeners, which I love because clearly that means it's effective. People are listening, and people call me with a lot of really valid questions and kind of give me feedback about what they wish was out there. So because of what I've heard, I have decided that I'm going to start putting on some classes. Now, the thing is with COVID, I just don't know what the timing is going to be because, sure, you can do Zoom meetings, but I don't know about you, Andy. I am about Zoom meeting out. I have been to Zoom meeting fundraisers, Zoom meeting board meetings, Zoom meeting happy hours, Zoom meeting birthday parties, and I'm just ready to be back in a room with people, and when that's safe, then we're going to start hosting some classes, and one of them is going to be, about, so you think you want to build a house, right? And so we're going to have a lender come and talk about what that means financially. What do you have to have up front? We're going to have a builder, and I have some great relationships with some very reputable builders, and I've had at least 3 tell me that they would be happy to help out with this depending on the schedule. So we'll have a builder there, and then myself and probably another team member or 2 just to answer any questions. We'll have information about lots that would be available, prices of lots, what you can expect to get for a city lot, what you expect to pay for it versus a couple of acres. We'll have as much information as we can. And we will put that information out on the website to talk about when that will be. And we'll do the same thing for first-time homebuyers class. That's nothing new. A lot of agents have done that over the years. And I think we just kind of fall away from doing the basic stuff. And people, they keep evolving forward and do a lot of stuff online. And that's all great. But I think that there are people that would really like to just sit together in a room and hear from a builder, from a lender, from a realtor, just what does the process look like, and ask questions. Clearly, it's something we do with clients one-on-one all the time, but sometimes they feel like sitting down with an agent one-on-one is just maybe a little bit more of a commitment than they're ready to make, because sometimes people think, okay, now I have to sign up with this realtor. I haven't even really met them yet. And that's the one thing that I will say when we put on these classes, it's not like, okay, you come in, we're going to give you this information, you're going to sign a contract with us, and you're going to work with us. No, it's not going to work like that at all. We're just going to give you information. If you like what you hear, and you feel like you like us, you feel like you trust us, you feel like we know what we're talking about, would we be happy to help you? Well, yes, of course we would. But our goal is to just get some information out there for the general public.
Sure, no pressure.
Exactly.
What I like about the idea, especially with the new construction part of it, is you'd have a chance to get more information about your expectations.
Yes. Yes, there's so much more involved in building a new house than people realize, and a lot of people start out with, I want to build a house. And then when they start to realize the lack of lots available, or the price of lots, or the time it's going to take to wait for the builders because they're all booked far out, then they have a change of heart. But the good news is, if building is something you want to do, I certainly would never discourage someone from doing that. I would just say plan accordingly and make sure that you start the process timely so that you really do have the time to complete the house and be moved in to meet your expectations.
And also the expectation of what kind of decisions you're going to be asked to make along the line.
Exactly. And so many people don't realize that, listen, we need to know this before we can do the next thing, right? You have to pick out your kitchen cabinets and your countertops, and then somebody, I just can't make a decision. And the next thing you know, the house is behind by a month and they're frustrated with the builder, when in reality it was because they couldn't make the decisions that they needed to make to keep the builder on schedule. So there's just a lot to learn, and I think it's a very informative class. It's some really good information, and I think it really puts people in a good position. And this isn't just people who are deciding, do I buy my first home or build my first home? This is people who have owned many houses, and maybe they want to build their dream home. Maybe they want to downsize and build. I have one client right now that's selling a very large home on a very large piece of land to build a new home, and she's going to take all of her favorite things from that house and pare way down because she's no longer got her family at home, and she knows what she loved about her house, and those are the things she's going to take. But like I say, much smaller on a much smaller piece of property.
Fantastic. And you were mentioning the putting things behind schedule. I know that if people don't understand the ripple effect either, that if you delay that one thing, that means this contractor can't get it done, and that means that contractor can't start, which delays the other guy and the plumber and the electrician.
Exactly, because let's say that the plumber has this week slotted for that house, and now he can't get in because the fixtures haven't been picked. Well, he doesn't just get to wait until you fix the pictures, because he's got other jobs on his schedule, and it might be 4 weeks before he can circle back. And so then people get really frustrated because they don't understand, well, it just took me 2 extra days. Why is it going to take an extra month? And so there's just a lot to understand.
And that's the beauty of a class like this, is that if you have the builders there and yourself and others, they can explain the importance of sitting down and finalizing those decisions before they even break ground.
Right. So when we actually have the class schedule finalized, like I said, it'll be on our website, but I'll also talk about it on the show when we have those dates and times set up.
Well, I look forward to that. It's fantastic. It's a hope things keep moving in the right direction so we can do it sooner than later. That's
yes,
for sure.
I agree. Yeah.
So, I guess maybe it's time we get the phone number. It's already, it's been that much time. The hour's flown by.
It goes so fast. That's all right. I gotta get busy anyway. It's a gorgeous day, and if you like hot, it's a gorgeous day. But I do. I've got work to do. I've got to go show some houses and actually stop by the open house out at Piccadilly later. So, yeah, I'll wrap it up and give you my phone number.
All right. How do we get a hold of Robin Gwaltney?
507-259-4926. It's my cell phone. I always have it, and I answer it. If I can't, I'll call you back, I promise.
All right, Robin, until next week, you have a great weekend and a great week. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
Sounds great, Andy. Thank you.
Thanks. Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.